Welcome back to the channel. Here we have a 2022 Fender Telecaster Player Plus in aged candy apple red finish that I'm going to do a complete setup on. I bought it from the original owner. He bought it from Fender. I think he put one size heavier strings than the nines, I think. It had kind of a bow in the neck and the action was high. I don't know why. I don't understand that. So what I did was I lowered the saddles. I adjusted the truss rod, one-way truss rod, which is kind of odd. With this guitar with all these features, you'd think it'd have a two-way truss rod. But anyway, so I've got it set up pretty low right now. I'll show you what it's set up. And I'm going to try to take it lower. And we'll see where the buzzes, the groans, and the creaks come from with the frets. And if there's any that are a little obnoxiously high, which I don't think there are, we'll take care of that. So here we go. So there's no high frets, or I don't have to really do anything with the frets. I think they're all really seated well with this guitar. They're all the way, because a lot of times you'll get a guitar and the frets aren't installed all the way. And some will be a little bit high, and then that's what kills your action. You can't get low action when one's too high. So I don't think I have to address that. I'm going to lower the action even more. It's ridiculously low, but I'm going to lower it a little bit more just to see how low it'll go. Here we go. Okay, here's as low as the action will go without it buzzing too much. And keep in mind that this will be the last thing we do. But anyway, here's what the action looks like. So that's the old 12th fret. And so it's pretty good. The action is good. It's really low. Well, it could be a little lower, but right like that. I know there's no tall frets. Everything's really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish these frets. I might take like some, I don't know, 600 and go up to like 2,500 and then polish them. I want them to be super polished. And that's about all I got to do to the frets. I don't have to dress them. I don't have to crown them. I don't have to like lower one fret that's a little bit high because it's not pushed in all the way. So that's really, that's good. That's saying there's a little bit of quality here over the $1,000 mark with Fender. They install the frets pretty decently. And I don't feel any, it's smooth all the way up. So that's cool. All right. So one thing I notice a lot is with cheap guitars, the pickguard screws are always in crooked. Now these pickguard screws are all straight. They're all straight. So that's a good sign. I mean, this one here, you can see it's too close to the edge. Not like this one. It's too close to the edge and it looks like the wood has buckled a little bit. So I'm going to fix that. Okay. I want it to get down in there. There we go. Fill that hole. So there you can see the hole. It's got some glue with a little bit of fine Pau Ferro wood dust in there, and we'll just let that sit. And I might have to drill it just a tiny bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens when it dries. Now I noticed a couple of guys on YouTube that work on guitars. They'll talk the whole time they're doing this operation. And I don't know, does somebody want to listen to you talk that much? They're going to like just sit through a whole fretboard taping? Because this is a tedious job. It takes a while. Especially if you want to do a good job. It just takes a while. Okay, I'm going to start with 600 because I just want to polish the frets. I mean, they're not bad, but they could be better. I don't have to dress them, which is pretty cool. I usually always do. So all I'm going to do is just go over them. This is taking forever. Okay, I just finished, I think 1,000. Yeah, I just finished 1,000. All right, what else have I got? I'm going to jump up to 1,500. Okay, we got it all done. Gone over the frets with 3,000. So now I'm going to get my polish, and I'm just going to polish them. And now we'll finish the job with a little polish. And there's the end result. Nice, super smooth, polished frets. Wish I could put it on that fast. Now we'll put some lemon oil on the fretboard. Careful not to get any on the frets. All right, I'll let this dry really good. Then I'll put the neck back on and we can start doing the setup. Yeah, this Pau Ferro, it just didn't, I don't know. It's different. It's like it's not that smooth. Not rough, but not smooth. It's just, and the way that it took this, it just, I don't know, it just seemed odd. So we'll see what happens. But the frets are looking good. They are shining in the neighborhood. Okay, let's see how this screw goes in. I'm just going to go in a little bit. It's a little tight. All right, it seems fine. Okay. Now I have to shove all these wires back in, and it is a lot of wires in here. Okay. So I'm just going to work on putting these wires in, getting this together, and then I can continue with my setup. Okay, after cramming all those wires in there, I went through all the positions and made sure everything's working the way it should. Everything seems good. Unrelated story to this guitar, I had a 69 Telecaster I bought. There's a video on here all about it. I paid a Gavi blue made in Mexico Strat and 400 bucks for this 69 Telecaster. Anyway, the pick guard was off of the guitar for most of its, well, quite a bit of its life, and usually they crack by the screw holes. They always crack. But because this one was off, it didn't crack. And the guy had painted it. So I wet sanded it and buffed it. You could never tell it was ever painted. I sold it for 650 bucks. A piece of, I think it's cellulose, about that big. Okay, this is a pretty tight neck pocket for a Fender. So I'm going to be careful putting it in. Oh, okay. It looks like there's a gap, but there isn't. It's just an illusion. Okay. So I can hold this together. Be careful. Pretty stiff. Okay. Careful here. Okay, muscle power. Always use the right size screwdriver. And so many people don't, and everything looks horrible. Oh, there. Messed up my wax job. Okay. Now it's starting to look like a guitar again. I love this color. This is the most beautiful burnt orange. I don't know why they call it aged candy apple red. Well, maybe that's what aged candy apple red looks like. And even this Pau Ferro, it looks nice with that color, because I just don't like those fretboards. Okay, now we'll get her strung up. Oh, pretty close. Wow. Okay, now I'm going to stretch them. One thing a lot of people don't do, and they wonder why the guitar won't stay in tune. Then they're buying a string butler. God, that's the biggest, oh my God, what a scam. Loop the nut and do this. Your guitar won't go out of tune. Especially why the string is not that old. It's in that real golden spot where it's just wonderful. Okay. Tiny little bit of relief. I'm going to take a little bit more out. We don't need no stinking relief. Whoa, it's like not much. Might want to just back it off a little bit. That's where I want to be. Wow. I'm going to put the action down to where I want it to be without it buzzing. Buzzing is bad. This thing got a little stand on the back? Nope. Lower it down a little bit, see what happens. Just like trial and error. Just lower it down, see if it buzzes. If it doesn't buzz, keep going down. Just gonna keep on rolling. And of course, when you get to the higher strings, then you want to start bending them to see if they're going to fret out. Keep all the saddles straight. Don't have them crooked. Have them flat. Nice. Fender did a nice job putting the frets in this guitar. Okay, the action is where I like it. It's not fretting out. Might take a tiny adjustment down the road, but right as for right now, the action is set. The neck is where I want it to be, truss rod wise, like relief wise. There's not much. The last thing I got to do is take the nut down a bit. But before I do that, I'm going to set the intonation. And I'm going to do it like this. Usually you do it when it's in your lap. But if someone has never done this, I want to show you how to do it. Okay, here's how we set the intonation. I'm going to do the D string. Okay, it's in tune. Now we'll fret it. It's a little bit sharp. So what we do is we take the saddle and move it that direction. It was sharp, right? So we move it that direction too. So we just turn it clockwise. Tune it back up. Just a little bit more. Didn't have to move it much, so I didn't loosen the string tension. If you got to go a lot, I would suggest loosening the string a little bit. Okay. Make sure we're in tune. That's pretty much it. Okay, now it's time to cut the nut. So I got the action down to 12 thousandths. I want to do it to 10, but I've only got an 8 and 11. So last night I made this. Just use a piece of a 10 gauge string, and that's what I'm going to use to check the height. Here we go. The trick to this is patience. If you do too much too soon, then you blow the nut. You gotta start all over again. Okay, they're all done to about 10, but a little bit of a fat 10. So when I have this underneath there, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Let's see if I can do it. When I have this underneath there, you can see it's a little bit more than 10. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that's clear. Right there. A little bit fat of a 10. So what I'm going to do is take some really fine sandpaper and just super lightly go over the slots. So just super lightly here. Super lightly. Okay, now we'll get our this is hard to do with one hand. We're right at 10 now. So I'll go through the last 4 and I'll be done. Okay, here we go. We're at 10. Okay, we get a little graphite. Oh, did I even get any? There. Sure, it goes into the slot. And the excess, you'll never you'll never be able to capture it again. And you got to watch it around certain fabrics. This stuff will make a mess. Just ordinary graphite for locks. That stuck way too much here. I don't want to make a mess. Okay. Now the G, the one that really gets bent a lot, that's one bent string, G. Probably the string that gives people the most trouble too is a G string. Oh, I don't have that much on here. sure if that's enough. Okay. I use the string to kind of work it into the slot. There you go. Oh. So on and so forth. Now we'll brush it off a little bit. And take an alcohol prep. And just, I want to kind of dry it out a little bit first. I don't want it to be too wet. I don't want it to go down into the strings and make contact with the graphite. So I just want to make sure it's not too, it's not going to make any, not going to drip. I don't want it to drip down into the nut. There, look at that. Because graphite leaves its mark. There. Looks like there's some graphite there. There. She's done. On a side note about noiseless pickups, this Strat came with 3 vintage noiseless pickups. It was so terrible. I can't tell you how terrible it was. But somebody had gone in there and changed the volume pot. There was some stuff that was done in there. I still have those pickups. I just thought they sounded terrible. But I think it's the monkey business that was done in the pick guard. That's why it sounded so bad, because these ones sound really good. So last but least, the height of the pickups. So how you measure that is, you got to fret the last fret, and it's the distance between. So I could probably show you. And underneath, right? So it's supposed to be on the bass side, 8/64. So you can see the 8 there. And on the treble side, it's supposed to be 6/64. I don't know if it's going to pick that up. It's kind of far away. Maybe if I move in, 6/64. So that's all done. That's what Fender says. I might adjust it a bit. See how it sounds through the old amplifier. Okay, here's where the action is set at. All the way across 10/1000ths of an inch. Okay, the relief with the capo on the 1st fret and your finger on the 22nd fret. At the 9th fret, the relief is 9/1000ths of an inch. Okay, the action at the 12th fret is 47/1000ths. And on the little E string, it's 30/1000ths of an inch. So she is set up. Well, I hope you enjoyed the setup of the Fender Player Plus. If you want to hit the like button and the subscribe button, that would help me a lot. I really would appreciate that. Isn't this a beautiful guitar? I just love it. And like I've mentioned probably a couple times, I don't like this Pau Ferro fretboard, but with this color and with that tinted headstock, it looks beautiful. On every other tele or Strat, I don't like it, but on this guitar with this cool burnt orange color, which they call, what do they call it? Faded? Candy apple red, is it faded? Or something like that, but I mean, to me, it looks like burnt orange. You know, root beer. Rudy, there's a name for you. Hey, Rudy, how you doing? Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Comments below if you got any. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. That really helps. That helps a lot. It helps a lot. $7.99, there shouldn't be any setup. Even my dog agrees. Anyway, I just can't seem to talk today. Peace out. Fender Telecaster between the fret and the first. So she's all done. There you have it. The Fender Telecaster Player Plus. Cut. Well, I hope you appreciate. Hope you appreciate it.